Okay, well, hot, hip, and holy really represent tapas, svadhyaya, and ishvara pranidhana, which is Kriya Yoga, taken directly from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And I know this sounds funny because it is probably more exciting to hear, like, inversion workshop or back bend workshop. But the name hot, hip, and holy is so cool because really these things, tapas means heat. Tapas is discipline or heat. Svadhyaya is self-study. And Ishvara Pranidhana is surrender. And these are the three essential things we need to hit our mats on a daily basis, number one. And the coolest thing about it is it's almost like the express three-step plan to enlightenment, literally. When Patanjali lays out in the second pada of the Yoga Sutras what the steps are to get to enlightenment, he starts with Kriya Yoga and ends with Kriya Yoga. In the middle, he gives the 8-step plan, but he even goes back again to the 3-step plan, which are these things. And when we are able to embrace heat in a way where we don't have to walk in a room that's already heated to open our bodies, but we're moving our bodies and embracing the own inner heat that we develop, and we're doing that on a disciplined, regular basis, meaning that you are embracing the heat because you're trying to uncondition yourself and change yourself from the very burning issues in the world that may have taught us that certain things are okay and they're not. Yoga practice, particularly Jivamukti Yoga, has to do with liberation. Like, it's not just about stretching as far as you can go. And in order to become liberated, you have to become unconditioned, because we're all conditioned. And how to uncondition yourself is through heat, discipline, tapas. And then, hip. I mean, yoga's been hip for a really long time. Atha Yoga Nushasanam is how the Yoga Sutras start. And that means now, right now, here is yoga in the natural world as you are observing it. Meaning that yoga is available today. And to be in the now, the right now, is to be hip. And we're certainly going to approach our hips quite a bit in this workshop and get into the hips, which can be an interesting journey. I should put it that way, a very interesting journey. And then lastly, holy. When you surrender, not in a quitting kind of way, but surrender in a sense where you're not necessarily grasping, tightening, gripping onto things, and you just let go. And in yoga, as far as Kriya Yoga goes, it means to offer up your efforts to something other than you and become humble, which is very much like the focus of the month this month, to be humble. And to not grip and try so hard and try and hoard, try and make it about you, your small self, your ego, but to surrender, you're surrendering to something greater, the part of you which is greater than your body, mind, ego. So we're going to explore these three things. I don't know if that's a lot, too much, too little, but that's what we're going to dig deep into. And as we move through class, a workshop like this where we have 2 hours, I can explain Kriya Yoga a little more, in depth. And then we can move into the asana practice in a way where we're getting really hot. We're going to warm up. It's going to be a challenging asana class. And then we're going to get into the hips. And then we're going to meditate, offer all the energy that we create in the room together to something greater than ourselves, our small selves.
So the things that people will be experiencing in this workshop, they'll be able to take that and use in their regular daily practice.
I mean, just like any yoga class, yes. I hope they all are, yes. The other thing about it is, I mentioned earlier, like, there's a lot of issues in this world right now. We're at a very critical time on this planet. And one of the things that we need to realize with our practice and taking it off the mat, taking it with us, is that in order to really be able to get anywhere near or wrap your head around the idea of enlightenment or the state of yoga, you would have to realize that you are connected to every other being that's here. So absolutely, taking it off of the mat into the world would mean that you are conscious of the others around you. 100%. That should happen in every class, though. That shouldn't just be this workshop. I mean, most Jivamukti classes, I think, if we're covering the 14 points and the 5 tenets, we're addressing that on a regular basis. I think this gives students the opportunity to dive a little bit deeper into, like I said, unconditioning the conditions that the mind has been taught. And that's really taking that into the world. That's, it should inspire. It should inspire everybody to move off of their mat, go home and almost start over, start fresh. Say, okay, I'm making changes. I want to be on this yogic path. I want to achieve the state of yoga. I want to move towards that. I don't know if that helps. But
I think that's great. I think that'll take it a little bit from the unknown to the known for people looking at the workshop. And we'll look forward to seeing you next Saturday at 4 p.m.
It's going to be 4 to 6, right?
4 to 6.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yes.
It's going to be 2 hours, and it's going to be great. I may even have something to give to each student, just a handout, a simple handout, just to take with them. Talk about taking something with you. Just in case they don't have these texts. I can't assume that everyone has a copy of the Yoga Sutras. So I'm just going to give a little breakdown of the, the second pada, which is the sadhana pada, which is the chapter on practicing yoga. And that's where you're going to find tapas, svadhyaya, and nishwadi pranidhana. You're going to find kriya yoga, hot, hip, and holy. They're in there, right? That's what it is. So I'm going to give a little handout regarding hot, hip, and holy and how they pertain to those ancient texts. And also just, to me, Jivamukti's always been like a hot, hip thing to do, right? This practice, this style of yoga. The reason being is because they stay connected to that, the roots. They stay connected to the actual teachings, the ancient texts like this. This is an ancient practice. Those 2 hours, it's not even, I'm going to guide them through, but those teachings are not from me. They're from Patanjali. They're straight from the source. So I am excited to give out the handout too, just because that may inspire someone to buy the Yoga Sutras and continue to practice more. I think your students are already there. I think that they are good practitioners, but you never know when you have someone just, hey, I'm going to try this workshop, and they only dabble, and they're going to want to go deeper.